Hi guys, welcome back, and this is going to be a quick video on image and language analysis, and you'll have to do this for part of your poetry project that you are working on. There's some really important things to remember when you're completing a language analysis or an analysis of any sort on your poems. Okay, the very first thing that you need to do is you need to read your poem out loud. And the deal is that you need to read your poem out loud like a bunch, like probably upwards of 3 to 4 times. Okay, and every time you read it out loud, you need to have done something different. So the first time that you read it, what you want to be focusing on are things like images that come to mind. So maybe the first time you focus on images that come to mind. Maybe the second time that you read it, you look for unfamiliar words or words you don't know. And at that point, you would want to go and look them up. Okay? You don't ever want to stay confused. And we know that in poems, every single word matters. There's never a word that isn't essential for a poem. And so it's really, really important that you understand the function of every single one of the words. The third time that you read it, you may focus on things like what is the mood of it, or what's the tone that the author is communicating. And all of these things, they should focus on the images, those feelings. We know that when poets write, they write to make us feel something. They write to make us see something. They write to give us a message. So maybe even the fourth time that you read it, you're really trying to figure out what is the author's message. And it's only after you've done all of this that you can do an effective image or language analysis. Okay, so when you're getting started, if you've done all of this, you've read it out loud 3 or 4 times, and every time you've done each of these things, then you're ready to move on, and you can actually go through and complete the language analysis portion. Okay, so as you're going through, and we're only going to do a few examples in this poem, you're reading it out loud, and what you want to do is you want to figure out, okay, what is the author doing? Okay, and why is the author doing it? How does it make me feel? Does it matter that I feel that way? And then what, based on the author's message, how do I feel, and what was the author attempting to communicate? Okay, so if we look at this poem, If, by Rudyard Kipling, if you can keep your head all about you, when all about you are losing theirs and blaming it on you. If you can trust yourself when all men doubt you, but make allowance for their doubting too. If you can wait and not be tired by waiting, or being lied about, don't deal in lies, or being hated, don't give way to hating, and yet don't look too good nor talk too wise. Okay, so I look at this beginning thing, and I know that I'm looking for literary techniques. I know I'm looking for things that the author is doing. Well, one of the things that stands out to me is that there's clearly rhyming. Okay, so you and you rhyme, you and to what rhyme, waiting and hating rhyme, and lies and wise rhyme. Okay, so that may be something that I look at because there's not only a structure here with the rhyming, okay, but there's also it kind of contributes to the flow, or it contributes to the sound, and I know that sounds are really important in poetry. The other thing that I would look, if you can keep your head when all about you are losing theirs. Okay, keeping your head is something like that we've talked about before. Oh, that's too much. Oh, we'll just underline. Keeping your head about you when people are losing theirs. People aren't really losing their heads. This is a great example of an idiom. So already we know an idiom is a saying, and we know that there's something being communicated here. And my question needs to be, why? Why not say it in plain language? What is the author doing? So I would want to identify that. If you can trust yourself when all men doubt you, but make allowance for their doubting too. I don't really see anything there. If you can wait and not be tired by waiting, or being lied about, don't deal in lies, or being hated, don't give way to hating, and yet don't look too good nor talk too wise. I don't really see anything in the rest of this. So we can go ahead and move to the second one. If you can dream and not make dreams your master. Oh, okay. Well, already I know dreams can't be my master. That's clearly personification. If you can think and not make thoughts your aim. If you can meet with triumph and disaster. Okay, now when I see things like a capital T and a capital D, what the author is doing here is this is personification. He is capitalizing these as proper nouns just like we would the name of a person, and treat these two imposters just the same. Again, all of this works together. So triumph and disaster got capital letters, making them people, and he's calling them imposters. If you can bear to hear the truth you've spoken, twisted by knaves to make a trap for fools. Holy smokes, look at those T's. T, T, T. That's definitely alliteration. Or watch the things you gave your life to broken and stoop and build them up with worn out tools. Okay? Build them up with worn out tools. That's imagery. So we can see in the first one, there wasn't a lot of literary techniques being used other than rhyming, and there was one example of an idiom. Now notice our rhyming pattern continues. Master, disaster, aim and same, spoken and broken, fools and tools. So all of that continues, but there's much more personification. There's much more alliteration, imagery, other tools that the authors use. So when you go through and you are completing a language analysis, you need to make sure that you've got a color coding system. You need to make sure that you are identifying the things that are going on. And you really need to make sure that you are having a discussion of why these things are going on. If you are going to have a successful image and language analysis, you've got to tell me why. What are these things that the author is doing? Why is this rhyming pattern so important? Why choosing things like keeping your head about you? Why is that an important idiom to use? Why not just saying when other people are, acting crazy? Why is it important that dreams can't be our master? Why are those the words that were chosen? And a successful language analysis is going to take each part of those, and just like we've done with images in the past, you take a look at what's there, you take a look at what's on the surface, and you start peeling back layers. Things like if you can meet triumph and disaster, meaning you can meet any person, you can meet any place, you can meet anything. Nouns, proper nouns, and treat these two imposters just the same. Imposters meaning you can see them for what they are, that triumph and disaster, they're only things in words only. It's all in how you react and how you treat them. If you can peel away those layers and that's what you communicate in your language analysis, then you're going to be really successful. If you have any further questions, just know I'm always willing to talk to you in class. Best of luck.